Hello my traders. As a reminder, my name is Zach from Harvest Trade, and today we will be making a new video in which we will make two trades with today's currency pairs and of course talk with you about a new topic that will allow you to better understand and delve into the world of trading. Today we will have two currency pairs. The first will be the Australian dollar and Swiss francs, and the second will be the euro and the USA dollars. So I believe that we should not waste any more time and we should proceed to the analysis of the first pair for today, the Australian dollar and Swiss francs. As you can see that our first currency pair went through all of the stages from falling to lows to rising to its historical maximum. And as we also can see, at the beginning there were constant drops from increase to decrease until the moment when our currency pair reached its historical peak, after which a gradual decrease began. And right now on your screen you can see that the fall of our currency pair was quite gradual and confident until our currency pair started to rise for a short time. So we can be sure that if, according to the chart, we see how our pair is gradually going down, then we can be more than sure that soon we will have another rise up. That is why we're indicating that the chart will go up. And now, while we are watching how our trade is going, I propose to talk about a topic that will very well help you understand more about the world of trading. Because that is why we're here, to become professionals in this field and gain knowledge that will help us to change our life for the better. The topic that we will talk about today is nothing else but the Japanese candles. We will find out what they are, how and when they were created, and what we should know about them. Surprisingly, it's a fact that Japanese candles are more than 250 years old, but Western traders learned about them only in the 90s of the last century. Before then, traders used bars, and the progenitor of technical analysis, Charles Dow, used an exotic option at all, such as the tic-tac-toe chart. In those distant times when Godzilla was just a tiny lizard and Japanese traders were actively trading in rice, like all stock speculators, they needed a method of technical analysis. And the beauty was born, the Japanese candle. This is the method by which the price movement for the period we choose is displayed. The essence of the candle is actually very simple. The body of the candle is formed by the initial and final prices for the selected time frame if you say. The shadow is the maximum and minimum value of the candle for this time frame. I remember perfectly my first date with the Japanese candle. Back then, I remember that I didn't immediately understand what it was, and I believe to understand its essence, you need to liberate abstract thinking a little, I'll be honest. Fortunately, I had a wonderful book, which called Break Thoughts in Technical Analysis, where in one of the chapters, the Japanese Yusuke Shimizu presented very illustrative examples that immediately put everything in its place. The shadow of a candle is its maximum value, and the body is formed by the opening and closing prices for the selected period of time. The Japanese candle is a powerful indicator in itself. There is an opinion that American traders were introduced to candles by Steve Nissen, who was described by a Japanese trader. Indeed, Steve was one of the pioneers, if you say so. However, it was not him who was the first, but Seiki Shimizu, and Seiki was the first one who published the first English language book about candles, which was called The Japanese Chart of Charts. Then Nissen made a fuss and took all of the glory for himself. And it happens with Americans, isn't it? And while we have begun to delve into the history of Japanese candles, we can see on our charts how our first trade for today comes to its logical conclusion. So, guys, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, don't forget about the likes and the comments, and also don't forget about Telegram channels, links to which you can find in the description to our video. There is a free Telegram channel where I give my free advices to all of you, and also a private channel for the ones who are ready to change the life for the better right now. And now, after the successful ending of our first trade for today, we are moving to a new currency pair, and exactly a pair of euro and USA dollar. And of course, after the successful ending of the first deal for today, there is nothing better than doing the same with the second, isn't it? As we can see on our screen that the euro and American dollar pair is a very interesting pair, as this pair had its ups and downs, but everything happened quite consistently. We see that at the first, the chart of our currency pair went up rapidly, confidently and for a long time, until it reached its maximum at the time, after which it began to fall also rapidly. What personally I like the most about this pair is the fact that if the chart starts to go down, then it does it for a long time. And the same thing happens if the chart goes up. And as we can see right now that our chart is starting its way up again. So personally I see absolutely no reason not to indicate that it will continue its further growth. And that is exactly what we're going to do. And while all deal is going on, I think that we should continue our conversation about Japanese candles because there is much more information we need to learn today. Candles should not be taken as a signal in and of themselves. Their value is interpreted depending on which market zone they are in, which candles are located nearby, and other factors. All this is explored in the price action, but for now we will focus on the Japanese classics. The main thing that everyone is interested in is, of course, which candles can confirm the market reversal. Candles that guarantee this have not been yet intended, but they are very good specimens. One of the main candles that the Japanese immediately point to is the curry. The Americans called it a pin bar, where pin is the shadow of a candle which is longer than the body. Another name is the hanged man. A bunch of names actually, the essence is still the same. According to the Japanese, the specific color and size of the body of such a candle does not play a specific role. The main thing that should be the lower shadow, which is much longer than the body. This is the difference between Takuri and Maribozu above. There, the shadow is equal to the length of the body. There is also a reverse version of Takuri. Such candles reflect, of course, investor psychology. This long shadow is an indicator that the bears were significantly stronger than the bulls during the candle. However, all is not lost for bulls, especially if the lower body is large enough. Of all the existing candles, pin bars have the strongest signal. It needs to be interpreted using trends, channels, support, resistance, and other candles, as well as being confirmed, if needed, by some indicators like oscillators. If you find good confirmation for pin bars, they can become the basis of addition to your trading strategy. As a result, many systems are based on pin bars. Also, we can talk a bit about candle combinations, and in books by Steve Nissen and Gregory Morris feature hundreds of candle combinations. There are very many of them. What I want to say about them: you won't memorize hundreds of variations of these candles. I won't be able to remember like 80% of them, and no one remembers them, except for the very fanatics. The secret of successful trading is not all in how many candles and their combinations you have memorized. It is actually enough to choose 3 to 4 combinations and build them into your trading system. It sounds much simpler than thousands of combinations, isn't it? And this set should contain Takuri and Maribozu as the most powerful candles, while the rest will be selected depending on which candles you can often find on the charts. And we will talk about these combinations next time, because as we can see that our second deal for today was also successful. And I also would like to remind you that we do not do bettings. What we are doing is not luck, is not bettings, is logical and technical analysis. And that is exactly why I want to once more remind you that you can always feel free to subscribe to our channel, like and leave a comment. And also please don't forget about 2 Telegram channels that are waiting for you at the link in the description to our video. There you can get useful tips and advices and start changing your life for the better. And as I always said and always will say, that we are not interested in any form of life which contains working from 9 to 5. What we want is living our best life in the best possible way. So it was Zach from Harvest Trade with you, and I see you soon. Have a great day.